Good morning and greetings from Farmer Bill, the Fun Czar at Mays Valley Farm Market and Winery. And here we're looking at some of our busiest workers on the farm. And this is our honeybee hives that Mr. Carper puts at the edges of many of our fields, especially our cucurbit fields, which are things like watermelons and the pumpkins and the viney type crops that produce a lot of blossoms and are in the need of pollination. And what we have here is several hives he has up on the hill here. They're right next to our watermelon patch. And the bees are some of the pollinators that we have out here. You have natural pollinators, such as wasps and all kinds of smaller insects, but you want to have a little extra boost. You want to get things done. So here are some of our honeybees. And honeybees you may have heard of. These are the type that come out into the field and they pollinate the blossoms, and they bring the nectar back, and they create and they transform that into honey, which they use as an energy source, and which we come along and harvest to use, like, for instance, Honey Nut Cheerios. It comes from somewhere, and this is where it starts. It starts with a little honeybee, just like this one, who goes out to the field and works and brings back the pollen to the honey, to the hive, which they in turn turn into honey. These are the same bees that have been under pressure for a number of years from mites, and it's a little microscopic almost creature, not really, but it's very, very tiny. It gets into the hive, and it will eventually kill a hive by killing off its population. And inside there's a queen bee in there, and she has all the worker bees out here doing different tasks. And you see some bees swarming on the outside the hive, and you have some coming in it, coming going, because there are different bees that have different roles. And some of those are protectors, and they're keeping a watch on the hive. And I'm within a few feet, but they don't perceive me as a threat. They don't always go off so much off of vision as they go off vibration. Oftentimes, if you're out here mowing and you get anywhere near with one of our big mowers, they are not happy about that, and they've let me know and chased me much farther away than I am standing today. And the oil well doesn't seem to be a problem for it, or maybe they've just gotten used to it. So here are one of the management practices we use at Mays Valley, but it's honeybees on the edge of our fields that we use to pollinate our crops. And we'll talk a little bit more about the blossoms and the pollination later on. Once again, Bill Back and Fun Czar from Mays Valley Farm Market and Winery saying thank you for stopping by.